fight. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe you could fight Usyk. That's a great fight. I don't think Usyk's really going to want to jump in with Parker. Usyk's going to probably want a big money fight if he's going to go again. But we all know Tyson Fury's retired. For how long, we don't know. But yes, Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois, for me, that's the one. So elsewhere on the card, Shakur Stevenson, the talent from America, took on Josh Padley in a late replacement. Schofield pulled out for an illness. Padley stepped in. It was first fixing electrics, and he came in as a late replacement. And you know what? He had a go, didn't he? He was game. I thought the writing would have been on the wall for him. Shakur Stevenson, fantastic talent, blistering fast hands, so skillful. But Padley give him a good go, put him on his back foot, give him something to think about. I was impressed with Padley's effort and confidence going forward. I think the fact that Shakur Stevenson doesn't pack a massive punch, he's not a big power puncher, is he? Good movement, good skills, super fast, very good fighter, very hard to beat. But when you lack a bit of power, the opponents lose a bit of respect for you, or they don't show much respect when they're walking forward. And Padley was able to go forward, but I think it was round 9. Shakur Stevenson had wore him down a little bit, started walking him onto shots and dropped him 2 or 3 times in round 9. And then the corner eventually pulled Padley out of the fight. And to be fair, it was a right decision because Padley was getting served up with some heavy shots. And when you're down 3 times and you're probably behind on all the scorecards, you have to save yourself for another day. But fair play to Padley. He came in late notice. He gave a really good account of himself. But Shakur Stevenson remains undefeated, onwards and upwards for him. Also on the card, we had Hamza Shiraz taking on Carlos Adamas for the middleweight WBC world title, the green and gold belt, the best one. My first title when I beat Pascal. That is the belt you want. Listen, this was his first world title fight. He went for it, but in my opinion, he came up short. Carlos Adamas was too much for him. A lot of people are saying it wasn't a close fight. On the scorecards, it was, well, on one of the scorecards, it was 118-110, which is a wide victory for Adamas. The other two, 114-114, a draw, and then I think the other one went by 1 point to Shiraz. So, kind of, listen, I think when a fight's a draw, you've got 2 fighters who look at the draw and say, listen, when you get the draw, one of the fighters is happy to get the draw. Another fighter's pissed off he's got the draw. Carlos Adamas will be annoyed that he got a draw. Hamza Shiraz will feel like he got away with one there. So Adamas retains his title and Hamza Shiraz will have to come again. Back to the drawing board. His first world title fight. He fell up short. He wasn't good enough to get his hand raised. You've got to really go for it. You've got to make sure when you're fighting for your first world title, you're making sure on all the judges that you do the business. But he's in against a good fighter. And Shiraz is young enough to come again, and that will set him up. That's given him great experience. But I think the general consensus is that Hamza Shiraz got well beat. But Adamas retains his title because he's the champ in what looked like it was potentially a close fight on 2 cards and very wide on another one. But we can't argue with a subjective score, and it is what it is. Hamza Shiraz will come again. He will have gained a lot of experience from that, and maybe it's Carlos Adamas again for him in his next fight. We'll have to see what happens, but he's belonged that he can mix at world level. He's proved that he belongs at world level, Hamza Shiraz, but he will need to come again, and he will need to be better. Elsewhere on the card, Virgil Ortiz beat Israel Madrimov. Nice little fight that was. Nice to watch. You've also got, I've already done my reaction video for this, Joshua Buatsi and Callum Smith. That was a great fight. Callum Smith deservedly won that fight in a very, very competitive fight that ebbed and flowed. And both fighters were hurt in this. Both literally wore their heart on their sleeve and just went for it. Both getting hit with big shots. There was a time when Callum Smith was hurt. There was a time when Joshua Buatsi was also hurt. But I think the experience of Callum Smith in at world level showed through tonight. When you've got that experience with people like Canelo Alvarez and Beterbiev, you take that into fights like this. And Joshua Buatsi, this was his first step up. But if you haven't seen my reaction video, get a look at it. And yeah, let me know what you thought. And also on the card, Ajit Kabial served the first defeat by stoppage to Zhilei Zhang with body shots. Zhilei Zhang, we know he gets tired after 4 or 5 rounds. He's an old man. Was he 42 years old? And he's given us many great nights. We've seen him perform at a decent level against good level opposition. We know all about Zhilei Zhang, but Kabial, different class really in there. Body shots in the end, round the mid-drift of Zhang, sent him to the canvas. It was an awkward-looking finish, actually. It didn't look a great deal, but Zhang was spent and finished, and Kabial got him out of there in style. So who next for Ajit Kabir? I mean, you can't deny him a big fight, really. Maybe an Anthony Joshua, maybe a Joseph Parker. Who knows? Let me know in the comments who you think he should be fighting next. But this is a fighter who's been around the game and is one of these names that I think people are swerving. People don't want to go in there with him because he's risky. High risk, low reward. Let me know what you think. So that's been another episode of Froch on Fighting. If you haven't already, go and have a look at the Froch along. The watch along. See what I've done there, don't you? Listen, it was a great... If you want to hear what my comments are during that fight between the big boys at light heavyweight, go and watch that back. But it's been a great night. It's been a big stacked card in Saudi Arabia. Turki Al Sheikh really did serve up some good food for the plate, for the boxing fan. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. And don't forget, we will see you very soon on the best channel in the business.